Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into something that's really making waves in the EV world. BYD, the big Chinese automaker, they're saying they've cracked 5-minute charging.
Yeah, it's a huge claim. We've been looking through the reports on this one.
So let's break it down. First off, who is BYD? Again, for context, they're not exactly small fish.
Oh, definitely not. They're massive. Sales jumped, 29% last year, hit $107 billion. They actually sold more EVs than Tesla.
Wow. More than Tesla.
Yep, and their stock's up over 40% this year alone. They're outpacing legacy names too, Nissan, Honda, Ford.
So they started with kind of budget EVs, right?
Exactly. They've really shifted gears. They're seen as genuine innovators now, globally.
Which brings us to the main event, this claim. Charging up 250 miles
Yeah.
in just 5 minutes.
That's the headline grabber for sure.
I mean, that's basically gas station speeds, isn't it? That would change everything for EV adoption.
It really would. If, and it's a big if, they can scale it properly. You know, charging time is still a major hurdle for a lot of people thinking about switching.
So bridging that gap, that's the dream, essentially.
Pretty much. It removes a huge psychological barrier.
Okay, let's talk tech. The numbers BYD mentioned, 1,000 kilowatts. That sounds like a lot.
It is a lot. Think about a Tesla supercharger, the V3 or V4 ones. They top out around 250 kilowatts.
Right. And with that, maybe you get, 170 miles in 15 minutes on a good day with a Model Y?
Something like that, yeah. So BYD is claiming, on paper, 4 times that power output.
But charging isn't always straightforward, is it? It's not just plug in and boom, full power.
Not at all. It's non-linear. Think about pouring water into a glass you slow down near the top, right?
I bet.
Batteries are similar. Charging is fastest in the middle range, say 20% to 80%. The start, and especially the end, that last 10-20%, are much slower.
And pushing that much power, 1,000 kilowatt, what does that do to the battery itself? Heat.
Exactly. Huge amounts of heat. It's a massive challenge. You need, incredibly sophisticated cooling systems, both in the car and potentially the charger.
So it's not just the plug. The battery has to be special, too. Maybe costs more.
Very likely. You might need different, more robust, potentially more expensive battery chemistries to handle that kind of stress without degrading quickly or, worse.
Okay, so there are battery hurdles. What about the plug itself? Where do you even find a 1,000 kilowatt charger?
That's the other massive piece of the puzzle. In the U.S., the fastest public chargers are mostly 350 kilowatts, and even those aren't everywhere. Only about 22% of DC fast chargers hit that speed currently.
So nowhere near 1,000 kilowatt.
Nope. Now, BYD has mentioned building out their own network in China with these high-powered chargers. That makes sense.
But getting that kind of infrastructure built out worldwide, that seems years away. Decades.
A very big question mark. A huge investment. And standardization issues, too.
Still, we shouldn't just dismiss this, right? BYD has serious R&D chops.
Absolutely not. They have, 25,000 patents filed? Something like 100,000 engineers. They're not just throwing darts here. They have a track record of innovation.
And this comes at an interesting time, with all the competition in China's EV market.
Oh, yeah. It's intense over there. Tesla cut prices, sparked a massive price war. Some companies even went bankrupt since last year.
So these Chinese companies, BYD included, are looking outwards for growth.
Definitely. They're expanding aggressively into overseas markets. Europe, Southeast Asia, Latin America.
Yeah.
And that's causing, concern in the U.S. and Europe.
Yeah, we're seeing the reactions. The U.S. tariffs on Chinese EVs, 100% now, and talk of maybe more.
Right. It's becoming a big geopolitical issue, too.
But it's fascinating that other automakers are watching closely, like Ford's CEO using a Xiaomi EV.
They're not ignoring it. They're buying them, tearing them down, testing them. They know they need to understand the competition.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway here? This BYD claim, even with the caveats, it signals something important, doesn't it?
I think so. It really shows that Chinese EV makers aren't just about low costs anymore. They're pushing the technological frontier hard.
They're aiming for innovation leadership, not just market share.
Precisely. It could genuinely reshape the whole global auto industry if they pull this off, even partially.
So the main point is this is a sign of accelerated innovation from China, potentially impacting everyone.
Yeah. And it leaves us with a big question to chew on, really. How soon could this kind of ultra-fast charging actually become, normal for the average driver? And what other leaps are coming next? It's definitely something to keep an eye on.